I've been using the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL for over a year now, and while it's easily one of the best Android flagship phones in terms of camera and performance, one thing always felt slightly underwhelming: the speakerphone quality. Don't get me wrong, when streaming YouTube videos, Netflix or Spotify, the Pixel 9 Pro XL speakers sound rich and immersive. But during hands-free calls or when playing audio at moderate volume levels, the sound sometimes feels muffled, slightly tinny, or lacking punch. It wasn't bad enough to make me regret buying the phone, but it was noticeable. What surprised me most? The fix was hiding in plain sight the entire time. It's called adaptive sound, and if you own a Google Pixel phone, chances are you either don't use it or didn't even know it existed. And here's the strange part. Google often leaves adaptive sound turned off by default. So what exactly is adaptive sound? And can it actually improve your Pixel 9 Pro XL speaker quality? Let's break it down. Adaptive sound first debuted with the Pixel 4a and Pixel 5 back in 2020. The goal was simple: automatically improve speaker clarity using smart environmental detection, instead of forcing users to install third-party equalizer apps or manually tweak EQ settings. Google built a native smart audio adjustment system directly into Pixel phones. Here's how it works. Adaptive sound uses your Pixel's built-in microphones to analyze the acoustics of your surroundings. It listens to background noise, echo levels, and room characteristics, then dynamically adjusts the speaker's equalizer profile in real time. Everything happens on device. No audio is uploaded to Google's servers. No recordings are stored. The processing is local, which addresses most privacy concerns. The result? Your Pixel intelligently balances highs, mids, and bass depending on where you are. For example, if you're in a large open living room or outside in your backyard, adaptive sound boosts clarity and presence so vocals and instruments sound fuller. But if you place your phone near a wall corner or inside a smaller enclosed room, it reduces harsh treble and excessive echo to prevent that hollow, reverberating effect, and yes, the difference is noticeable. Before discovering adaptive sound, I briefly considered using third-party equalizer apps. Years ago, when smartphone speakers were objectively terrible, those apps were a necessity. But today, I avoid them completely. Most require invasive permissions, background access, and questionable privacy trade-offs. Some constantly run in the background, potentially draining battery life. On a flagship like the Pixel 9 Pro XL, I prefer sticking to native features. So when I enabled adaptive sound through settings on sound and vibration audio, I immediately started testing it in different environments. The first noticeable improvement came during speakerphone calls. In open rooms, voices sounded clearer and less compressed. The muffled quality I previously noticed was significantly reduced. Conversations felt more natural, especially when I wasn't holding the phone directly in front of me. In smaller spaces, like when the phone sat near a wall, the harshness in certain frequencies was toned down. Instead of simply increasing loudness, adaptive sound prioritizes balance and clarity, and that's the key point. It's not about making your Pixel louder, it's about making it smarter. When streaming music through YouTube Music or Spotify, I noticed even more consistent improvements. If my Pixel was sitting flat on the dining table in a large room, the audio felt punchier and more dynamic. Bass response had more depth without distortion. High frequencies were crisp without sounding sharp. But when placed near a reflective surface or corner, the sound became more controlled and less tinny. In one of my informal tests using a sound meter app, I even observed slight amplitude variations in waveform readings when adaptive sound was turned on versus off. With it enabled, the sound curve appeared more balanced and controlled, especially during intro segments of tracks with prominent vocals. And the best part? It adjusts automatically. You don't need to create presets. You don't need to open an app. You don't need to tweak sliders. Move. From your bedroom to your living room, it adapts. Take your phone, outside and it adapts. Shift it closer to a wall and it adapts. It's subtle, but over time, you appreciate how intelligently it handles different acoustic environments. Now, you might wonder, if adaptive sound improves audio clarity on Pixel phones, why does Google disable it by default on some devices? There's no official explanation, but it likely relates to privacy perception. Since the feature uses microphones to analyze ambient sound, some users may feel uncomfortable, even though all processing happens locally. Another possibility is consistency. Some users prefer a static sound profile rather than dynamic adjustments. Still, for most people, enabling adaptive sound on the Pixel 9 Pro XL is a clear upgrade. If you're using a Samsung Galaxy phone, you won't find a direct equivalent for built-in speakers. Samsung offers a feature called Adapt Sound, but it mainly works with connected headphones and relies on age-based hearing presets rather than real-time environmental analysis. That makes Google's implementation more advanced for speaker-based audio. So should you turn on adaptive sound? If you regularly use your Pixel phone for speakerphone calls, watching YouTube or Netflix, streaming Spotify or YouTube music, listening to podcasts without headphones, then yes, absolutely. It won't magically transform your phone into a Bluetooth speaker replacement, but it does refine and optimize the sound in a way that feels smarter and more polished. After months of testing, I've left adaptive sound enabled permanently on my Pixel 9 Pro XL. The improvements in vocal clarity, reduced echo, and better balanced frequencies make daily use noticeably better, especially during calls. And the best part? It's completely free. It's built in, and it requires 0 extra apps. If you own a Google Pixel 9 Pro XL, or any recent Pixel device, and you've ever felt the speakers sounded slightly off, go into your settings and flip that toggle. You might be surprised how much better your phone sounds. Sometimes the best upgrades aren't new hardware. They're hidden features you just haven't turned on yet.